Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're deep diving into why smart leaders still struggle with clarity in a world that's constantly buzzing with distractions.
That's such a timely topic. So many people out there, whether they're agency owners or seasoned managers, easily get swallowed by the noise.
Absolutely. It's like, even when you've got all the skills in the world, if your thinking is foggy, your decisions end up, well, lacking direction.
Right, and there's that interesting point where busy doesn't mean productive. It's more like you're moving, but not really moving forward.
Yep, exactly. Leaders often confuse mere movement with true momentum. They're hustling with meetings, emails, Slack messages, yet nothing meaningful progresses.
It's like trying to drive a car while building the road at the same time. Imagine that.
Haha. Yeah, it's that kind of relentless chaos. And the core problem isn't that these folks lack expertise or strategy. It's the overwhelm from constant digital distractions.
Exactly. It's almost as if the digital noise is muffling their inner voice, the voice that should be guiding their decisions.
Absolutely. And there's an interesting notion here. Clarity is not just a warm, fuzzy feeling, it's an essential asset. A leader with a clear mind can delegate better, ask sharper questions, and really filter the noise.
Right. But let's dig into that nuance. Would you say that too much focus on optimization, perfecting funnels, or system workflows might actually distract from internal clarity?
Oh, definitely. It's like we're taught to optimize every little detail from Notion boards to outreach funnels, yet no one really advises us to upgrade our own thinking.
Exactly. That's a profound insight. So it's not just about external productivity systems, but about, making space in your mind for deeper reflection.
For sure. And this is where the idea of carving out dedicated thinking time comes in. Imagine blocking off just 30 minutes a day, no interruptions, just you, a pen, and a clear question: what decision is critical this week?
Right on. That simple practice could be a game changer. And it kind of challenges the conventional hustle culture, don't you think?
Exactly. By challenging the norm of constant busyness. Instead of jumping into every meeting, leaders can filter out the noise by, reviewing their calendar like a clarity lens. If a meeting's outcome isn't laser clear, then why book it in the first place?
But here's a point I want to challenge. Sometimes it's hard to decide which meetings are essential. Isn't there a risk of canceling something that might have unexpected value later on?
That's a fair critique. But think about it. If you're in a constant state of clutter, every meeting becomes just another distraction. It's about, prioritizing, and sometimes that means erring on the side of fewer, more focused, meaningful interactions.
I get that. I see your point. And it's interesting that clarity also isn't just an internal state. It affects team dynamics too. A clear leader can steer the group without relying on panic or reaction.
Exactly. Clarity translates to better delegation, sharper decision-making, and ultimately a team that isn't constantly in survival mode. It helps leaders filter out the endless digital chatter and hone in on what really matters.
Absolutely. So, what are some practical steps that a leader can take if they are feeling, say, overwhelmed or foggy?
Great question. First off, like we mentioned, establish a hard boundary for thinking time. 30 minutes a day, as simple as that. No distractions, just focusing on one pressing, clear question.
Yep. And the next step would be scrutinizing your calendar with that clarity lens, right? Cancel or reschedule anything that doesn't clearly drive an outcome.
Absolutely. Every unclear meeting can create an unclear week. So by trimming down the noise, you're designing a clearer path forward.
And the final piece, which is really underrated, is talking it out. Sometimes having a conversation with someone outside your immediate world, someone who can reflect your thoughts back to you, sparks that clarity.
Exactly. More often than not, clarity isn't found by thinking harder, but by articulating your thoughts aloud. It's like tuning a guitar. The process of discussing out loud can help you catch that off-key note.
True. That's such a relatable analogy, and it reminds me of when I felt overwhelmed and reached out to a friend outside my industry. and just that conversation cleared up so much for me.
Yes, exactly. It's crucial to not isolate yourself in this digital noise. Sometimes the silence of an external perspective is what you really need to realign your thoughts.
It really underscores that clarity isn't a side effect. It's a fundamental part of leadership. When you have clarity, you're not just doing more, you're doing what truly matters.
Right on. And that distinction between movement and momentum is key. Just being busy doesn't drive progress. Intentional, clear actions do.
Absolutely. So then, in a way, clarity is like the secret sauce that makes leadership effective, isn't it?
Totally. It's that crisp mindset that lets you delegate properly, ask the right questions, and avoid getting sucked in by every new trend or panic-inducing update.
That's the essence. And with the digital overload we face today, it's almost more important than ever to create that mental space.
Exactly. In our digital era, leaders need to intentionally cycle out the chaos to really see what's important.
No doubt about it. Let's also talk about the psychological aspect. How do you think a leader's clarity, or the lack thereof, impacts their team's energy?
Oh, great point. When a leader is clear-minded, the entire team tends to pick up on that energy. It creates a culture of purposeful action and reduces reactive decision-making.
I've definitely seen that in action. But on the flip side, if a leader is mired in digital overwhelm and uncertainty, it trickles down, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Unclear leadership can spark a sense of chaos within the team, where people feel they're just surviving the day rather than truly progressing towards a goal.
Exactly. That really paints a picture of how essential mental clarity is beyond just personal benefits. It's about leading smartly in the digital age.
Yes, and that's the takeaway. Cluttered minds lead to reactive leadership, while clarity fuels intentional, strategic action.
Yep, spot on. So for anyone listening who feels like the fog is too thick, take a step back, block some dedicated thinking time, and maybe have that reflective conversation with someone outside your circle.
Exactly. Clarity isn't a luxury, it's a necessity in leadership. Less noise, more thoughtful silence. That's how you steer your team to real progress.
Definitely. It's pretty inspiring to think, isn't it? That a few small changes in how you manage your day can lead to bigger, more intentional outcomes.
For sure, and while it might seem counterintuitive in a world that rewards busyness, ultimately, leading with clarity is what drives true growth and innovation.
Absolutely, no doubt. All right, that wraps up our chat for today. Keep those thoughts clear and those actions intentional. Thanks for joining in on this conversation, everyone.
Right, think sharp, lead smart, and grow that digital mind. Catch you next time.